Coming up on this edition of MHS Rewind,
The Indiana government has been put on silent mode as a new bill is waiting to be signed that would ban all phones from school.
Mother Nature has had some bipolar weather lately as the tornado stormed its way through Bloomington.
And softball is winding up with their start of their season. We'll have all these stories and more coming up on this edition of MHS Rewind.
After growing up together on the luxurious SS Lark, Nita Pandy and Emery Botwright are ready to start their lives. Emery wants to follow in his father's footsteps and sail the Lark forever, while Nita yearns to travel the world. But neither will have any future at all if the Lark's new owner, Mr. Honeycutt, has his way. The first-class passengers adore him, while he makes the ship a living nightmare for the crew. Twisted by unnatural appetites, the rich are actually transforming into something less than human, and their insatiable demands soon push the staff towards a quite literal burnout. Something unworldly is undeniably aboard the SS Lark, something horribly hungry. This is a graphic novel that you don't want to miss.
Upperclassmen prom guest forms are in the bookstore and must be returned by April 17th. Underclassmen tickets will be available for purchase for anyone who has been approved from starting April 22nd. Prom court nominations are also going out this week. Students, check your email. Juniors can nominate Prince and Princess, and seniors can nominate King and Queen. You'll have to wait until April 15 to submit your nominations.
Members of the class of 2026 who are planning to go to college or trade school, listen up. Trying to figure out what exactly that student aid report means, or just was meant by a school financial aid offer, can seem complex. But the SSC is here to help with a finalizing financial aid presentation, discussion, and Q&A event. Join us in the SSC at 6 p.m. this evening, Wednesday, April 8th, as InvestEd, our state's incredibly not-for-profit financial aid experts, share key steps in finalizing the college funding plan. They will share tips on understanding and comparing financial aid offers, options to fill in any gaps regarding college costs, and help out with all the ins and outs in finalizing your college funding plan. InvestEd is eager to answer any questions you may have.
Seniors, your cap and gowns will be delivered on Friday during lunch. Jocelyn's will be in the area with all of your things.
The MHS Spring Blood Drive will be on Friday, April 17th in the Fieldhouse entryway. If you are 16 or older, please consider donating blood. Sign up by scanning the QR code posted on the bulletin boards in the hallway. Participants will need signed consent forms, and these can be picked up in room 206 or outside the bookstore.
Dance Marathon is hosting a 3-on-3 basketball tournament on April 18th. Teams will go head-to-head one by one until the best team is left standing. Get your registration form and waiver outside the bookstore. Everyone must fill one out if they are to be on the team, and the cost is $10 a player, and with all proceeds going towards MHS's year-end goal of $20,000 for the kids at Riley Hospital in Indianapolis. Forms need to be turned in immediately.
Dance Marathon's main event pre-registration begins this week. Pre-registration is only $20 and can guarantee you a Y2K style t-shirt for the event. If you're not pre-registered, the cost is $25 at the door. Grab the pre-registration forms for the main event in the bookstore or outside Miss Hotel's room 225C. Do not miss this event. They will have food trucks, carnival games, live animals, live music, a DJ, and other Y2K stuff planned. Pre-registration ends May 1st. If you'd like to be part of the Battle of the Bands contest at the main event, also see Miss Hotel for the information for that as well. Do not miss this event. It's going to be iconic.
And your activities for the day: JV baseball at Mooresville at 6, varsity baseball at home at 6, JV softball at Mooresville at 6, varsity softball at home at 6, and boys volleyball at home, yet you guessed it, 6.
Here are the birthdays for the day. Colin Bain, Riley Highland, Aiden Long, and Riley Turner. Happy birthday, guys.
Students recently wrapped up their production of Grease. Mia Boyd, Kaylee Maxwell, and Orion Hebting tell us more.
Set in the 1950s, Grease highlights a version of teenage life that looks a little different from today. After spending months rehearsing and performing the show, some students tell us how they connected with their character.
I think I'm pretty similar to Dan because she's kind of quirky and like weird in my own little way. And then I'm different because he eats a lot. So I don't think she's a picky eater, but I'm really picky eater. The good Sandy is definitely more comfortable to play with because I am a lot like her. She's quiet, she's nice, and she just honestly keeps to herself, but she's a girl and has fun little secrets.
Connecting with their characters brought the story to life. Students also had some favorite moments on stage. From energetic dance numbers to heartfelt solos, these scenes left the lasting impression on both performers and the audience.
My football seems pretty mellow. I think it's just so fun to get out there and develop and I really love
Beyond the music and dance, the cast also got a glimpse into what life was like for teenagers in the 1950s. Cal Bailey shares how high school back then compares to the experience students have today.
Greece, people are off their phones, really. They can converse with each other and they hang out outside of school a lot of the time.
From exploring the fun of iconic dance numbers to stepping into a 1950s high school, students got a chance to experience the past in a way that connected with their own lives today. With months of practice and countless performance, this production of Grease left both cast and audience with memories that would last long after the final bow. For MHS Rewind, I'm Orion Ipting.
From the halls of Indiana Congress to the halls of MHS, a new bill is coming to turn the entire school system upside down. Quinn Sparenbluck has the details.
A new groundbreaking bill has just been passed through the Indiana Senate this past winter. One which would ban all non-school issue devices from potentially the start of school until students are dismissed, with Senator Jeff Ratz citing statistics for such reasoning, and I quote, "According to a recent survey by the National Center for Education Statistics, 53% of public school leaders believe student academic performance has been impacted by cell phone usage, and 72% believe cell phone usage has had a negative impact on student mental health." Yet, even with the intention to help students, it appears that the entire financial burden is shifted onto the schools to pay and provide such equipment to keep students' devices locked away for the duration of the school day. With the principal of Martinsville High School, Jeff Bell, wondering,
what's the protocol going to be? We've talked about everything from, is this something, you just trust the kids to leave them in the lockers? Do we need to have the phone caddies in every room and go about it that way? So there's some logistics to think about and iron on.
While on the home front, many parents are professing their anger about not being able to contact their children. However, some, like MHS SSC teacher Carl Wagner, are confused as to the constant need for connection.
I don't know why students feel like they need to have them. I'm not sure why parents go, my kid, I need to be able to contact my kid. Well, for forever and a day, parents call the office if there was a message they had to get to their kid. So I totally disagree with that line of thinking.
We would just have to wait and see if this bill, which passed through the halls of Congress, can be implemented effectively or will pass through like another spring sickness. For MHS Rewind, I'm Quinn Sparenbluck. In late February, a tornado swept across southern Indiana, impacting much of Bloomington and the surrounding areas. Lucas Edwards, Andrew Sylvester have the details of the aftermath.
Last month, there was an EF2 tornado that swept across southern Indiana.
There was some pretty intense but very localized damage, like Fifth Third Bank got taken out, the roof of a gas station got carried off. I heard there was some residential damage and some tree damage, but yeah, it was kind of crazy how localized it was in just one specific area, Bloomington.
The tornado damaged local buildings and nonprofit organizations, as these photos showcase the destruction it brought upon in Bloomington.
Debris everywhere, and then the worst, as far as I know, was the animal shelter was completely destroyed. It wasn't where the animals are kept, it's where they do like the medical procedures and stuff. And so that building, as far as I know, is completely lost.
So I was actually grocery shopping on the east side of Bloomington while the tornado was happening. So we could hear the hail hitting the ceiling. And if you looked out the window, it looked like the reckoning, lightning, thunder, really hard rain.
But people in Bloomington have been trying to give their support to fundraisers for people who have suffered, along with nonprofit organizations that went through the struggle as well. For MHS Rewind, I'm Lucas Edwards. Dance Marathon is in the planning stage for their main event in May. Maya Lewis gives you an inside look at what Dance Marathon is.
Dance Marathon is a student-run club that works to raise funds all year round for Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. The name Dance Marathon comes from the main event that takes place at the end of the year. The high school level does 6 straight hours of fundraising to help kids who can't do these kinds of things due to their time in the hospital with whatever challenge they are facing. Dance Marathon first began at Martinsville in 2014. It originally started with something that NHS members did as a part of their hourly requirements, but then got so big that it broke off as their own thing in 2017. Their goal this year is $20,000, and they are at a little over $10,000. This year, they have really put their heads together to come up with new ideas, push events, and share promotions more. They hope to see you at the main event. For MHS Rewind, I'm Maya Lewis.
And now, over to Ruby Merle for sports. Ruby?
Thanks, guys. The softball team has been trying to get settled in with the new coaching staff. Addison Ford and I went out on the field to get you more. Welcome to Rodenfield, where the MHS softball team is operating under a new coaching staff and has been working hard since the fall to build the new culture and prepare for next season.
Well, what we're trying to build here is just build off of what Coach Britton has done, Coach Dorsett, Coach Cravens, and then obviously Coach Roden, who is our coach that took us to our state championships and actually won a couple of them back in 05, 06. And so trying to build on that, because you always hate to say, I'm going to try to build a better culture than the next guy, but I guess we're doing a lot of sisterhood stuff, meaning that we do a lot of stuff outside of softball. And so I think by doing all these activities outside of softball, you build those relationships, you have the fun, the giggles, the laughs, and the good memories. And I think when you get in those tight situations on the ball field, it may pay off.
Coach Jennifer Baylor has been a great asset to the staff and has formed a strong relationship with the players.
I grew up in Martinsville, played sports in Martinsville, went away for a little while and coached in Monrovia, but then 3 years ago we decided to come back as a family and felt like got some time settled into my job and thought it would be a good idea to finally get back involved into the sporting aspect of things.
The coaching staff has had a positive impact on the players, allowing them to have a voice as they rebuild.
I feel like we definitely have a more positive culture this year due to the coaching staff, and I feel like they just bring a lot of positivity and really make us all feel like we can just be ourselves and feel free and almost like we can kind of have more of an opinion on what goes on.
With the new culture, the coaching staff has turned to the players to lead from the inside.
Obviously, team bonding. I think some people have stepped up a lot, like me, Miley, Addie Ford, and Emma Mowry. And we're the leaders of the team, so we stepped up and really led the team.
The team plans to take each game in stride no matter the outcome and keep working hard towards the next one.
I think this season's going to be a little different just because we're going to take the losses rather than, taking it to heart. We're going to take it to improve our personal skills and ourselves as a team rather than, letting it affect our mental state. And we're going to celebrate the wins a little bit more.
Last year, the softball team was very close to a sectional championship. This year, the team is hoping to have the same opportunity with a different result.
Team goals, obviously, get a sectional championship, just have a positive atmosphere and be there for each other.
The staff has also added a familiar face. Former player Addison Massey-Deckard has come back as a coach after a strong personal season last year to round out the staff.
I feel like this year we're a lot more stable. I feel like last year we were a little bit chaotic, a little bit hectic. I feel like we just had a lot going on, and I think that we're just overall a lot more prepared this year with our coaching staff.
The softball season is about 30 games packed into just 8 weeks of play, giving you many opportunities to get out there and watch them before the season is over. For MHS Rewind, I'm Ruby Merle. Boys basketball just finished another season. Isaac Gillum has the inside scoop.
With spring just around the corner, MHS boys basketball has officially ended. Let's take a closer look on how their season went.
The biggest thing was that everybody got a lot of valuable experience playing, experience learning how we want to play, experience kind of playing for a new coaching staff, and so I think it was a good year for everybody to kind of get in there and get some experience with a new staff with a new culture, and I thought we had a lot of positives.
This year, the Artesians had a big win at Speedway. Grady Gardner hit the game-winning shot to seal the game.
First points for the Artesians here tonight.
Felt pretty cool, actually. I don't think I've ever hit a game winner in my life. I think that was my first one. So, when it was for me, and I was like, all right, well, here we go. And Casey caught the ball in the middle, and I was wide open on the wing. They forgot to guard me, and I caught the ball, and I shot as fast as I could, and it went in. Crowd went crazy for it being a Thursday night, I think it was, or Tuesday night. So, it was just a really cool moment.
Stout, layup, it's good.
with it now, driving in.
The Artesians worked extremely hard all season long and are looking forward to the upcoming years.
Stout, his layup, it's good.
Seniors did a great job of kind of laying the foundation of our culture and what we want to build, and just kind of doing it every day in practice and in workouts. And so we're really thankful for them and the example they set. And so just looking to build off of it for next year.
The Artesians are heading in a great direction and look to keep building on this year's progress. For MHS Rewind, I'm Isaac Gillen.
The Martinsville Artesian baseball team faced a tough home loss last Tuesday against the Franklin Central Flashes. Coach Pasco says that he expects them to compete every day and to keep improving. While the first game didn't go as planned with Franklin Central being a strong team, nonetheless, there are still positives that they can build on moving forward into the season. There were 2 underclassmen additions to the team this year, with them being Colton Presley and Jackson Phelps, who made some strong plays Tuesday night. Coach Pasco said, quote, "They're really competitive and talented baseball players that are really excited to see how they progress. They will play a game today against the Mooresville Pioneers at 6 p.m. at home." The Martinsville girls tennis team may be young and still gaining experience, but they make up for it with effort and determination. The group has been putting in the work at practice, and they're excited for the chance to surprise people once matches begin. Senior Libby Hedrick returns after making a run to regionals last season, joined by fellow senior Addie Dean and junior Blakely Schwab, who both bring valuable experience and continue to improve every day. The team is also boosted by a group of freshmen and new athletes trying tennis for the first time. Conference play will be a challenge against more experienced opponents, but the focus is on growing as players, competing hard, and building a love for the game that lasts beyond high school. The Martinsville boys golf team played in the Edinburgh Invite on Saturday. The Artesians placed 6th out of 17 teams. Leading the way was Liam Ralph with a 7th place finish, carding a round of 77. Also shooting 77 was Gavin Wilburn, who finished 9th on the tiebreaker procedure. Rounding out the score was Mason Dodson with the 87, Nathan LaFerry with a 91, and Dylan Hall with a 93. Coach Payne encourages the team to strive harder to improve the team's placement in the future. Golf is a sport that demands more than just skill. It asks for patience and confidence under pressure. The course is more than grass and sand. It's a place where lessons are learned, characters built, and goals are chased one swing at a time. The MHS track team has been hard at work, and despite having a bit of a rush start to their season, they competed well in their first meet at UND. Coach Saib says that their goal for the season is not so much about winning, but more about competing and growing within the team, focusing more on the athletes as individuals and improving themselves personally. Saib also gave us some key athletes to look out for. Those athletes were Laura Barco, Kate Spurgeon, and Layla Wolf. However, this team is younger, and he is excited to see how others continue to develop as they get older and grow within themselves. Their next home meet is on Tuesday, April 14th. Get out there and support them. The MHS men's volleyball team has had another hot start to the year, beating Bloomington South 3-1. The team is led by their 3 seniors, Fisher Dunscombe, Eli Bennett, and Quinlan McGowan. Artesians are coming off their first sectional championship and are very experienced. The Artesians hope that this experience and hard work that they've done can lead to another great season. Come show out and support your fellow Artesians at home tonight. That's it for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ruby. And that will do it for this edition of MHS Rewind. For Lucas Edwards and the rest of the RTV2 class, I'm Quinn Sparenblick.
Have a great rest of your day, and always remember to enjoy the ride.